I didn't want to do it that way. That's just like, hi. Sorry, y'all. I don't really like doing live streams in the upright, but anyways, I see one person was on here waiting, but hi, anybody that gets on here. Most people be like, what's a sensitive? Well, if you are one, you know it. Anybody you come in contact with, you get an instant feeling about whether positive or negative. Oh, can you hear me? Sorry. This is why I don't like streaming like this. Then when you get all those feelings and stuff like that about whoever you're dealing with, depending on their intent and stuff like that, they can drain the shit out of you if you don't know that they're sucking your energy. Not to mention, before you really realize that you're sensitive, sometimes you can do the same thing to other people and not realize it when you're unconscious of it. Hi, spiritual warrior. How are you? It's not an easy life. Not to mention, a lot of times you'll know things about somebody and you'll tell people. This is the fun part. You'll tell people and give people warnings. Yeah, because people think you're freaking crazy, or people will call you crazy, because they're like, I don't see that in that person. I don't have and then they think that you're the one trying to cause the problems. And it's like, no, I just sense this about this person. Oh, well, you can't go by what you're sensing or your gut instinct. Why not? Why wouldn't you go by what you're sensing or your gut instinct? It's a natural response to, and it's your body's mechanism. And the thing is super sensitive people can tell things about other people, and we seem very critical and very that's why all I need to do is connect with somebody, even energetically via YouTube. It's why I can sense things. If I get a picture, or I can look at it, even a picture, a still picture of somebody, I can sense that energy. Here's the thing. Energy don't lie. You're right. However, energy can, other people's energy and their words, this has been a major issue for most sensitive people, is when other people don't see what you do, like I said, then they think that you're trying to cause problems because you don't like that other person. And it's not that you don't like the other person. You don't even have to not know. You don't even have to know them. You can just tell. But other people are like, oh, well, you're just too critical, or what is your problem? Why wouldn't you like somebody else? Or why, you don't even know them. No, but I know their energy. That energy signature does not lie at all. And if you understand what I'm saying, you know what I'm talking about. And then what happens to sensitives when we get around an energy like that just bombards you and blasts you with negativity, you'll be drained for a good day or two. And they do it these people can do it so subtly. That's why it's extremely important to protect your energy and to protect your peace and your environment. That's why going out in public for a lot of sensitives, I get it. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, well, being hypersensitive and stuff like that, like when you're an empath and stuff. Yeah, we are hypersensitive. We're hypersensitive to lies and bullshit and negative intent. We can usually, that's one of our superpowers, is a sensitive person can pick up on the intent, and the other person doesn't even have to say anything. Hey, Queen of Swords. The other person doesn't even have to speak. And then when your other super psychic sensitive gifts come online, oh, life. They say life is like a box of chocolates. No, it's like a box of shit for most sensitives, because we have to sift through everything. And then it's the whole point of, well, you don't know, so you can't speculate. You don't know for sure. Well, just give it a week or two till it all comes out. Y'all know I'm not lying there. And then you found out you were right the whole entire time. But by that time, you've already lost what? How many friends? Because you were judgmental. Yeah, we get a lot of shit thrown at us. And then like, yo, not I got to tell you this one. My buddy, I just got a hold of the peace dealer because I got on Instagram to talk to somebody who was on Robert Earl White's channel the other night. And I finally got on my Instagram on this other phone, not the pink one, but this one. This is my Instagram phone. My pink one actually had my Amazon and all kinds of other stuff on it. Not this one, though. This is my backup Instagram phone. And I can get on YouTube on that one, too. You know, a lot of sensitives have a very vivid imagination. We legit can see through our third eye. Like, we legit don't need these eyes to see. We use our gut instinct and what's happening up in here. This is why, like, when we see patterns, we can pick out a pattern like this with people. And when we start noticing that, and we almost can call it a cyclical pattern or a karmic pattern, like, you can legit tell the freaking the pattern as it's starting from start to finish. Yep. I see more. I can see with my physical eyes open. They don't have to be closed. But we do have very vivid dreams. We dream like almost every night. Sometimes we don't remember them. Yeah, sure does. That's why a lot of sensitives use or are chemically dependent to fucking get out of their head. Queen of Swords knows that eye can see, but the gut don't lie. Damn straight, it doesn't lie. And the thing is then, like, it's like you're losing those that's where those divisive energies can come in. And a lot of times it's like, for sensitives, like, you know that energy sucks. But say you're in a group of people with like a few friends and there's an outsider that's around, and you can feel the negativity being blasted at you, and they don't even have to say a word. Or you can sense that somebody's trying to even blast your friends with negative energy. And the thing is if you say anything, then you're called the divisive one. When you're just trying to help and save your friends, or or whoever this is the struggle of empathic people and highly sensitive people. It's like you're only trying to help somebody. So now it's like, unless I'm asked, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. This is one thing I had to learn. people have to learn lessons for themselves. I'm not getting involved in other people's shit. 4 years sober, 3 months, no weed, first time in years I can pass a test. Well, I'm almost like I'm a weekend. I don't need it. Have you guys noticed the energy's been off the charts today and yesterday? Like I wake up every morning before 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just exhausted. And I'm wondering if it's not. I noticed that the CMEs have been really coming in, and the Schumann resonance has been off the chart. Sensitive people feel this stuff, and it's draining. It drains us. And then people be like, people who aren't sensitive do not understand this of why you're so damn tired. It's almost like pregnancy. It almost feels like that, even though like, and then you're bombarded with, you just want to distract yourself, which is part of the reason why even like I watch the true crime stuff and I'm just like, but even with that, it's like I'm right on, it doesn't matter. Even being right sucks. When you're right about stuff, you're like, I know what happened. That still sucks. And then you have all these scammers and stuff out here, and we usually can sense a scammer a mile away. Actually, I had to get a hold of the peace dealer because I got on my Instagram for the first time, and I started talking to somebody who was on Robert's channel, and next thing I know, I get a follow from the peace dealer, and I'm like, so I messaged him. I'm like, did you start following me on Instagram? He's like, please report that. So he's having people. I sent him pictures and then I reported it. And I'm not real good with. I'm learning Instagram because I really can't get on my Facebook anymore because, well, I already explained all that to you. Fuck. Why do we have to deal with this stuff? All we want to do most of the time is just be positive. But it's like sometimes you just feel compelled to help. And honestly, like the true crime stuff for me is just more training. Like honing in my skills on something outside of, the tarot and stuff like that. And it's just knowing. And it's just spending that quality time with the divine and asking the divine, like, what is going on in this situation? And then when you know, and you say anything, then you get harassed with that. It's like, well, you don't know for sure. And then it comes out a few days later, oh, yeah. Actually, I did. Sounds good. Actually, I did know. Plunder. Everybody's saying, dude, nothing annoyed me more than hearing these people try to sit there and say that this whole thing was just a tragic accident with this girl. I actually looked at the inside of her vehicle. There's no way she could have fit in the back unless somebody put her in the back before it went into the water type thing. I'm right again. Did I watch oh, by the way, I watched the Adventures with Purpose video, the membership video. I figure if there's anybody that I would donate to, anybody, it would be them. It's not for their personal gain. They're actually going out and helping people. And it's not much. It's just what I could. But they're actually doing something with it. It's not for their own personal gain. It's for them to continue their mission and their work of helping find these families. So if I'm going to donate to anybody, it would be them. But I come to hear on other people's videos when I woke up today, because it seems like it's just a progressive thing. I want to stop thinking about this case. But then more shit comes out, and it's just like, I was right again and right again. And now it's like, well, you people who thought that this was a possible foul play, looks like you're probably right. Well, no shit. I was right from day one about the whole thing. The OD and all. They're actually thinking that maybe she OD'd now. Now she did. They tried to cover it up. Put her in the back. Who knows how her how that car got in where it was. Whether it was that night, which I'm not sure it was, or whether it was after the police already went and searched that lake, which that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they hid that vehicle somewhere and then put it in after law enforcement already. Kids don't smoke. It's a bad habit. I'm going to be quitting. Can't afford it. But, yeah, such is life. We're in the middle of transitioning again and leveling up again. And it's just like every single Virgo season, man. All this stuff also. Like, let me give you, for instance, with Virgo season. I'm pretty sure that, I'm not sure if, I know I'm pretty sure Project Veritas, I'm pretty sure that dude is an earth sign. I don't know if he's a Capricorn or he's a Virgo, but he's one of the two. He keeps receipts. So I'm not sure what his chart looks like. I never looked it up. But he's catching people left and right and exposing people in the school boards now. Interesting. So, anywho, being sensitive. Hang on one second. How most of us even got to this point. It's kind of a whole series of events that has happened in our lives since birth. We've had so many supernatural things and synchronicities that just have followed and trolled us our whole entire life. And many of us was unconscious to it until we woke up to it. Many of us just, it's been happening our whole life and we just ignored it because we didn't know. Like, you know, and many of us who wake up to our gifts and we start walking in them, many of us are kind of like, I kind of regret waking up to this. Because your whole life is just, it kind of goes to shit afterward. I was talking to a very good subscriber of mine and a good friend of mine. And I was telling her just, you know, the series of, it's like you get so far and then it's like you hit a wall and it's like test, see if you pass, and then you can proceed to the next level and you're doing okay and you're building, then you hit a freaking another test and a wall. And it's like you get knocked back 20 more steps and it's like, this really sucks. So, not to mention a lot of sensitive people have a really hard time in relationships because these people can't get anything past you. You know, and you're not going to take their bullshit. So, you know, you can tell if you're being lied to by the way your body feels. And then you're super sensitive to the energy they're giving off. And you're super sensitive to their words, their body language, and, you know, their actions versus what they say. We look at all of that type of stuff. We are lie detectors. We are human lie detectors. We know. Many of us get blamed for stuff that we should have never been blamed for. Many of us also become very cynical because of how poorly we've been treated as a result of using our gifts. especially with it being called crazy and being gaslit. And then people being so arrogant and they don't want to apologize for gaslighting us. So, you learn not to trust people. You learn not to trust people until their actions prove that they're not a complete piece of shit. Can I get a yeah? There is definitely positive traits to it. Um, However, it does make relationships rough. I guess until you learn how to um, discern because you can't just be sensitive and just like me. Like I've lost a lot of friends because I would just blurt out, and I still do it. I don't give a shit most of the time. But like many of us have found that we will just, when you're learning this stuff, you just like, this is what I know and this is the way it is. And like I said, many people are too arrogant to ever admit they're wrong. I can admit when I'm wrong with some things, especially in my own life. I can admit when I'm wrong, but when God's, like I said, when God's screaming at me about something and I know, and I can see the patterning of it, that those patterns don't lie either. And it usually comes with synchronicities and stuff like that. It all lines up. Um, Many of us we have psychic abilities. Many of us see ghosts. Many of us have been plagued by them our whole entire life. It's just we were gaslit by, I mean, our parents, all, like I've said this a bazillion times, they've done the best that they could with what they were taught and programmed to think. So that's what they passed on to us, to be like, not listen to our intuition. Yeah, we would have many of us have had terrible nightmares from the time we were pretty much born. Um, been trolled by spirits and demonic forces our whole entire life. By trauma from early childhood. Many of us have had supernatural experiences with, UFOs. Many of us have saw strange light anomalies that when you tell people this type of stuff, they call you crazy because your life isn't normal. It's very supernatural. I'm trying to be more like my brother Jesus, though. I'm trying to actually just pull back and just take in what everybody else is saying and then take it into what my gut instinct is telling me and whether or not it's feasible. You know what I'm saying, Queen of Swords? You know? Does this make sense? Sure, it might make sense. But then you come to find out that when you denied your gut instinct and you went along with the crowd, you end up becoming wrong with everybody else when you were right the whole entire time from the beginning. And then you feel bad because you didn't put out what you knew at the beginning. That has just recently happened to me. I told the peace dealer, like, I feel really bad because I should have pulled these cards and said what I've known, but I'm going to tell you what, if I would have done that and hashtag Kylie or hashtagged all these other freaking people like they like to do for clicks and views and all that other stuff, I would have been heavily abused for jumping to conclusions without without solid proof. Yet these people are all speculating. Well, we don't know, that's a fact. Only to find out that you were right, and they'll never admit that. I actually said on one of the platforms, I think it was Zap Girl, I want a public apology from everybody in the true crime community. I told you all from the beginning, and now it's coming out that they think that she OD'd and it was foul play. The way the car is made up. Oh, and then remember how I played the video? I played a video last night about it was called "I Was Right Again." Nor did I hashtag Kylie or anybody else because I don't need that kind of clout. This is just one of those things where it's like, maybe I should start doing that. not for clout, but to get it out there and be like, I ain't no damn joke up in here. But I don't like to do that because I see people clout chasing like that. And it makes me sick. I'm not doing it for those purposes, but I would pretty much do it to be able to get my name out there, to be able for other people to find me so I can help people. So my intentions are pure. Unlike a lot of other people who just want to freaking use it for clickbait or use it to freaking get views and clicks and likes for their own damn pocket. Anyway, this is the plight of a sensitive, highly sensitive person. Light worker, starseed, whatever you want to call us. This is what we go through. Because we didn't come to this planet to get famous or gain clout. We came to this planet to help the planet and to help other people. That's the whole reason. Whoever God puts in our way. Just when certain, things happen and, then when you start seeing your whole family turn against you, all your friends freaking call you crazy. Anybody you date can't stand you because you can read them like a freaking book and they can't get away with their shenanigans like they have with every other relationship they've been in. I said it too. I said it right on these damn channels. And you want to know what? Nobody. Oh, now they find her. They found her in the lake. In that day that they found her, I messaged a peace dealer and I'm like, I should have just listened to my gut the whole entire time, and I should have just went on and pulled these damn cards the entire freaking time and hashtagged everybody like everybody else does so that they can refer back to that reading. But I didn't do it because I chose to listen to the crowd. My bad. I wasn't obedient. So I just don't like doing that type of stuff because it's like putting myself out there. And what if that one time I am wrong? I haven't been wrong about anything yet. My thing is just letting it go at this point. Being like, all right, yeah, I was right. What really pissed me off was this one dude made a video about, oh, well, the car didn't have to be in neutral for them to be able to pull it out. Making that be like, oh, it still was just a terrible accident. She was found in the very back of that car. If you look at the inside of which I did I know, nor do I want to ever hurt a family or anything like that or put out like that kind of false information, So that's kind of like where I was at. I was hoping that she was still alive. I was hoping that there was a way that I kind of wanted to believe the crowd. I was believing the best, even though I knew that it wasn't. Like I said, I'm one of those like Old Testament prophet people, and it sucks when you have this type of. So like I said, all I want is the good stuff. But like God will bring me to these certain. I'll get led to these certain cases, and next thing I know, they're blowing up right in front of my face, and I'm like. And then I start getting the downloads about everything that was happening, almost to the point like I was there and like I legit sense it of what she went through. That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. Like I legit can picture myself in her shoes. That's what I'm talking about. When you're a sensitive person, you can picture yourself of what she went through. It's what we see. And even when I read tarot, it's painful. It's not an easy life. So like for me, I just kind of want to be like Jesus and just bend down in the dirt and be like, I don't see a damn thing. And just start writing in the dirt and be like, how do I handle this, God? So that's what I've been doing, is just writing in the dirt, getting the downloads. And then I start seeing everything happen that I knew that the divine told me play out right in front of my face, and I never said anything. Well, I have said stuff in the comments, but I haven't done a video on it because I don't want to make any kind of money off of it. That's the difference between me and all these other dumbass true crime people. I just put it out there. I even knew she was a Virgo. When I pulled those cards, I knew she was. Y'all, you want to know what's really creepy? And it might not all pertain to her, but when I did the Virgo reading for Virgo this month, go watch that reading. I did it before I even heard about this case. I did go watch the Virgo reading for this month. That's all I have to say about that. I don't know what guy or whatever, but there was an Aries involved in something and there was a Leo involved in something. That's why I said whoever that Leo chick is, she knows what happened. I don't know which one of them girls that's her friend that was a Leo, but one of them is. One of them is. One of them is probably an Aries as well. Whether it's a chick or a dude, I don't know. But Aries was heavy in that reading. And it was all third party stuff. Mm-hmm. Celebrate. Go watch that reading. Go watch that reading. I'm telling you, just go watch it. Just the first 5-10 minutes. Even to clarify, like, it was just a mess. Like, I get this shit and I don't even know where it comes from most of the time. Like I said, I usually channel the majority of my readings. They're just a guide to tell the story of whatever's going on that I'm sensing with the collective of that sign. And it's partially part of the reason why I don't like doing sign readings, but it's a way of getting content out there. More than just doing the light workers and starseed readings. Because there's only a very small collective of starseeds out here. And especially starseeds that actually see my stuff. But I do have more views and stuff on my starseed readings than anything. So they are getting out there. So that's a bonus. Not to mention, starseeds are usually for the leaders in the collective anyway. So whoever's getting them, you're a leader if you watch them. You're an advanced soul. I started doing starseed readings back in 2020, right before COVID hit. I started getting those readings for the collective right around the time when COVID, like February, March, April, during that time. I didn't even really realize what I was doing. I just went over and my table was still up here. I just went over and started pulling cards. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing this for, but you can go back. Look at all my starseed and lightworker readings. And then it coincided even with stuff that was happening in the world. All the shit I predicted that came true. All of it. Like I said, I don't like to have to predict negative shit, but it just comes out and I'm not ever wrong. It's frustrating. So, this is a life of a sensitive person. You know, then when you tell, like I said, when you start telling the people around you, and they actually start putting 2 and 2 together, they're like, yeah. Anybody who's been in my life, especially over the past 3, 4, 5 years, like my parents, they know how sensitive I am, and they know how powerful I am. My kids, they all do too. Most people know this about me. They know I have these gifts, and it scares the shit out of all of them. Even my divine masculine told me my gifts scare the shit out of him. I scare the shit out of him because I'm not ever really wrong. I might be wrong about certain things about myself because I don't want to believe the worst in something. However, I'm not usually wrong about things that I know about other people in the details. Or I'm being gaslit, and then it comes out that I was right the whole time. never forget when I did the Troll My Exes reading. That was great. That was back in 2019. Yeah, I'll never forget that. Mm-hmm. I was like, yeah, that Aries, he's still skanking a hoe. Wasn't wrong about that. He still is to this day. Uh, the Gemini, yeah, he seems to be falling in love, and he was. He's with somebody that he's been with for quite a long time, faithful to her. Always was. He was that kind of person, though. He never really was a cheater. Um, the last dude, I didn't give a fuck, so I never pulled cards on him. Um, he was unawakened, big time. Even though he thought he was awake, because watched, he watched conspiracy theories. That's why he thought he was awake. He wasn't. He wasn't spiritually awake. Just put it that way. No shade on. Yeah, there's a lot of shade on that. I was actually talking to my friend the other night, and I was telling her about the other Sagittarius that I was dealing with that had the exact same birthday as this last Sagittarius to the year. I don't know what if they didn't have the same birth time, but they had the same exact birthday. But the previous Sagittarius was the biggest narcissist I've ever dealt with. He was the one that, I don't want to blame it on him because I did it. So there was technically no blame, but he really pushed me mentally to try and freaking, I mean, that's when I tried to myself, and it didn't work. They had to bring me back, but it was due to the abuse and the gaslighting and all the just how poorly I was treated by him. Um, Pushed me to that point. He's pushed other people to that point as well. Wasn't just me. He was evil personified, that guy. And you would never guess it because he always seemed so bubbly and light and happy. No, he was the biggest fucking narcissist you'd ever meet. So when I told his mother, which I didn't know anything really about this stuff, I just started learning about it. When I told his mom, I think he's a narcissist, which is the worst thing you can do. She's like, no, he's just an addict and a bad alcoholic. No, that's just covering up his narcissism. She probably knows this by now because she was living with him. That was so long ago. I'm so glad that asshole's out of my life. Yeah, I am. Glad he's 1,000 fucking miles away from me. And then there's Divine Masculine, who I was pretty sure he was kind of in that spectrum as well. And I'm not saying that he wasn't. I don't know. I don't feel that. Not at this point. I'm not saying that he didn't have issues, but I think his issues really were his addictions and his childhood trauma. I'm hoping that he works through that. I'm hoping that he stays sober when he gets home. Whether or not I'm cool with him, that's where we need to be, is on that even keeled 0 point. I just know stuff going on in the world right now just seems so. I'll know, like, I'm sure the rest of you, are feeling this tension. We feel the global weight. We feel the global weight on us, and I swear that it's very intentional. You guys know what I'm talking about? You feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. I'm very skeptical. I'm just going to let you know this. If I don't see other people going through ascension symptoms, and I don't see that type of stuff, and I see people just pumping out readings and I have to start questioning whether or not they're really on this, if they're really that sensitive or if they're a fraud. I'm not saying that they're not. Maybe they're just stronger than I am. I highly doubt that. like more like a boil, more like a very painful boil that's about to pop. That's what I talk about. Um, when you went to the fact that you're not just an empath and you're not just or a past victim of horrible trauma and abuse, because most of us were. And we start overcoming all of those things and we start walking in our gifts, then you're stopped on a higher level with um, other forces. And it's like, it seems like as soon as you figure out, well, okay, I'm not the only one, that is a huge relief to find your tribe. This is what pushes us out of our comfort zone to find our tribe and actually put ourselves out there. Because if you don't, you'll feel very alone. My friend the other night, she pulled up my human design and I told her, I'm actually going to bring her, I'm hoping that she will do this because she's big on human design. She's really getting a passion for this. So I told her, I said, and she's good at it. She's been doing this and she's been understanding some things. And she explained my whole human design as well as my divine masculines, and they're exactly perfect to what I've told her about, well, that's what she knows about me and what I've told her about myself. And it's the same thing with Radiant Gems on here. I got a hold of her and was telling her I was looking at the human design, and she actually had a I don't know if it was a book. No, she sent me a link for the app for my phone. And the stuff that it says about my human design makes complete sense. Remember when I said about Aries can regenerate their own energy? Well, my human design states that. Like, I have so many channels. My mom and husband have been suffering with ascension symptoms, but they yeah, I know. We can see it. That's the stuff that we can see what they're dealing with. It seems like most people think it's honestly they're going through depression or they're going through depressive bouts, and it's not that. They're actually being bombarded with energy, and all those demons or those energies that we've been struggling with, that we've been trying to minimize, instead of allowing them to manifest and be like, I don't want to be like this no more, I want to improve my life. As soon as you start to step out in that, that's when you get hammered and pushed back down even further. This is what we deal with as sensitive people. And then, like, it's just the energy is just. And then when people get mad and they lash out, and then you don't respond, but you react, that's when they get a real big energy spike from you. They know what they're doing. And that just feeds their own flesh, basically. You know, a lot of times people who are sensitive, they will come in contact with narcissists. It's just the nature of the game. Or lower demonic energies that just they're fucking energy vampires, and they suck off your energy. In the alien community, they're your classic gray Draco reptilian motherfuckers. We call them that. You want to know what I found really funny? In the conspiracy theory community, like, you can talk to these people who've listened to Alex, even across the political spectrum. Oh, this is draconian lockdown. That is a very... Another girl that I just talked to, the one that was over on Robert Earl White's channel, just told me that she had a migraine. Like, oh, you get them too, huh? I haven't had a real bad migraine. I just have been getting drained energetically. Like, Well, hey, at least it's working, and she realizes there's something to it. I make my own oils too. People swear by my shit. Yeah, I should have one up here, but since I remodeled my bedroom and stuff, and a lot of the stuff I took out of here, I didn't bring back in. It's like I just don't feel like doing anything, and I'm thinking, how in the fuck am I going to navigate work? I will do it because I know that I'm called to. However, how? I don't know because I'm still getting ascension symptoms and I'm still feeling it. Um, and even like I said, even when you're right about things, it doesn't feel good. These people were like, well, I was right. Yeah, sometimes I am happy when I'm right about something because I'm like, all right, God, my intuition has been right the whole entire time. Thank you for showing me I'm right, but I don't like being right about this stuff. Let me get back to the whole draconian. Oh, this is a draconian lockdown. Well, what is draconian? Do you even know what the word draconian means? You're talking about the Draco alien invasion. It's reptilian. Off planet shit. Well, some of them are living underground in our planet, but yeah. Otherworldly. Yeah. And I know that, Alex Jones had talked about aliens and interdimensional travel and that type of stuff. And people thought that Alex Jones was crazy when he said that on the one Joe Rogan show the one night. If you watch Joe Rogan with Alex Jones, I think he still has that on YouTube. Alex looks completely crazy, but I didn't think he was crazy. I knew he was exactly what he was talking about. However, the dude that I was dating prior to all of this, like back last year at this time when I broke up with him, I couldn't be with somebody who, first off, was very cynical about that there is a God. And he didn't actually say anything about, oh, well, he didn't believe that there was a God until, very late in our dating. And I mean, he was always tried to fucking put on a little spiritual mask. Sorry, you couldn't, the mask slipped, dude. And then the other week, like I said, I had a freaking dream and he was chasing me. In that dream. And that dream was just full of, and it was right before all this shit started happening in my house, like next door. It was actually the day prior. I had that horrible nightmare and he was in it. I didn't say what that nightmare was about, but I can decipher it. Pretty much coincides with what happened next door. So I'm thinking those two should have got together. They would have been perfect for each other. Anywho, I think I'm going to get off of here. I don't want to talk shit anymore. So give me your opinion. There's a man in town that's been asking a girl at the store about me. I do like him, but I don't ever run into him. If you're feeling, dude, I know you, Queen of Swords. I've known you for a long time. And if your instinct is telling you to give somebody your cell phone number after not wanting to talk to anybody for how doggone long, what does it hurt to meet somebody new and start off as friends and see where it goes? You can make a good friend. Just start it off slow. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you're trying to make new connections, I think now's a perfect time. Absolutely. Just start it off slow and see. You know what the red flags are, don't you? You know what your gut's telling you. Go for it. This is a year, and next year we're coming into our tribe. Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. Fear will stop you from your blessings. Okay? Don't be afraid to make new connections, even if it only turns out to be friends. But if you're having some for kind of romantic feelings there, just take it slow. That's my best advice I can give you. I don't have cards here, but I'm not going to pull on anybody's energy that I don't know. You can get a reading. If you want a reading on this dude, I can give you a reading. You'll have to get a hold of me though to do that. See how it goes. What do you need, spiritual warrior? I'll give you the best advice that I can. I'm really proud of you, Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords always be like, F men. She swore off relationships. This is a big, huge hurdle for you. I'm proud of you. Putting yourself out there again. We're all growing. Look at us all growing, taking these steps. Let me know how it goes. I have a friend that needs a house cleared. Property due. Here's, if I would be you and you're going to do that, I would go over and I would clear it. However, you have to check her. Well, then she honestly might be having the manifestations due to a demonic, not saying that she has it, but it very well could be a demonic force that is attached to her. That she might have, things are ramping up. What is she doing to, is there anything happening in her life that's chaotic? Is she drinking? Well, you can't, first off, you can't push yourself to do it. You have to let her come to you. That's key. If she's doing things that are causing the activity to ramp up, if you clear it, biblical strategies and that type of stuff, it does say that if you clear, if you clear a house, and this could be your spiritual house, your own, not that I know of, or drugs. If she's not ready to get rid of it and you go in there all guns a-blazing to get rid of it, and she just invites it back in by the words she speaks or by fear, she'll bring it back, but then times 7. It's a biblical principle. It's why I won't do energy clearings on people unless I meet them first. And I have to see where they're at. Well, if her father-in-law's living there, if you go over and clear it, you can go assess the situation, but I wouldn't do anything with clearing anything unless first off you're invited and they're ready for it to be gone. If you go in there all guns a-blazing and remove it, it can come back and wreak havoc on that whole family. Way worse. That's just my gut instinct of what I'm telling you. I know I'm right. That you have to let her reach out to you. Yep. That's exactly, then she needs to want it gone. If she doesn't want it gone, it's just going to come back and bring 7 more friends with it. And you'll leave that person in a worse state than what they were already in. The thing is if she needs to confront her, this very well could be your shadow too, manifesting. Because we can manifest poltergeist. Well, the reason she's making an excuse is because she has an attachment. It doesn't want to go. So it's convincing her that, and then it's just escalating. Um, I think maybe you need to just back it up, back off. That's what I think too. I don't think that it's her. I think it's a force that's working through her. Dude, they can attach to us sensitives. If she doesn't have her a peace with God and she doesn't have God as the center of her life, absolutely. She needs to want it gone. And she needs to understand. See, I could make things so much worse. I could make things so much worse happening here too if I wasn't living right, and if I was just living like shit and being disobedient to what I know God is telling me to do. But yeah, you don't want to go in and do anything. First off, you have to have that person's permission and desire to want it gone. She doesn't want it gone, then don't, you got to let her go. And I think for yourself, I think you should distance yourself from the situation. If it's weighing on you, I think maybe what you could do is pray and fast for her to get a revelation. Or you can give her, if she comes to you, you can tell her, look, I'm not going to do shit until you're ready to face this thing without fear. As long as the family and her is reacting with fear, they feed off that. That very well could be a part of it too. Um, that's one of the reasons why I don't really like watching horror movies. I'm really sensitive that I used to watch them all the time. Um, but a lot of it had to do with more curiosity. And because my whole life is a nightmare on Elm Street, should I say Fort Augusta Avenue? My whole life has been like a nightmare. So now it's just like, oh, my heart. Who's having heart palpitations? Someone's having heart palpitations. That very well could be a confirmation for somebody. I very well could be picking up on her. Does she suffer from anxiety? Because she suffers from anxiety, and that's what I just felt like she's suffering from anxiety. Maybe I'm just picking up on my masculine too. I don't know. Because I pick up on his energy a lot. So even though like we're not in steady communication at this point, we're still good. He called me the other day and see how he let me know how he was doing. I sent him a letter out. He should get it before he leaves for rehab. So like I said, we're still all right. Him and his dumb fucking uh I can feel that too. I feel like anxiety. My masculine, I'll tell you what. I don't want to, he says, Lisa, I just don't want to be a YouTube star. What the fuck? You're not ever going to be no YouTube star, dude. I won't even put you on here. I barely even talk about you at all anymore. However, I will bring that up. But I told him the other day, I'm like, well, looks like you got your wish. I got to go get a job. Fucker. Why can't you just get off you? No, I'm not ever going to get off YouTube. Mm-mm. Not unless God tells me, and then I will. But unless I get the go ahead from the creator to say, yeah, like we're done here, your mission is complete on YouTube. Now it's time to take it out and focus on, you know. But I figure I can reach a lot more people on here than what I can just in my day to day out there. You know what I mean? So even when I do get a full time job, I'm still going to come on here and do readings. So that's just the way it is. I just need to get a plan and a schedule going. I think that that is probably one of the most frustrating things also for spiritually inclined people is we need to really be organized and make lists. And that's hard for me. I mean, my Capricorn moon loves it. It's just my Aries sun doesn't, my Aries sun would much prefer just to go by the seat of my pants every day. But then my Libra rising in me is so indecisive. So my Cap moon just has to step in and kick both our asses and say, no, we're doing this. It has to be done. Make a damn list. So when I make lists, I seem to fare out, and I really got to do that. So now that it's Virgo season, I have to really get into that prioritizing mode again and stick to it. That's the way I got to be. I am going to get off of here though, guys. Us as spiritually sensitive people, we need to have a plan, and especially now. I know, but here's the thing. A lot of times when you remove your energy from it, you very well could be getting attacked as a result of that, just so you're aware. Or it could be messing with you if you try and invade that. Well, good. I'm glad I came on too. I just kind of came on just to talk. This wasn't like this is going to be a lot of what my Patreon stuff is going to be too. Kind of giving you a little bit of taste about getting my mind in order. I'm actually going to be sharing on my Patreon as well, because I don't want to do it on here, is some of my UFO experiences of what had happened with that, and some of my extremely sensitive stuff that I don't want everybody to know about. I'm already labeled crazy enough. So. Anyway, I'm going to get off here. I love you guys, and you guys have a great night. And please like and share this video with all of your spiritually sensitive people out there. I love you. Have a good one. Good night.